In the age of social media, recipes can go viral in the blink of an eye. One moment, a dish is being shared by countless users, and the next, it's the center of a controversy that captures the attention of millions. But what happens when a seemingly innocent recipe leads to chaos in someone's kitchen? Today, we're diving into a shocking story that involves a recipe, a kitchen disaster, and a lawsuit that no one saw coming. Imagine scrolling through your social media feed, and there it is, a tantalizing photo of a dessert so decadent it demands your attention. This was the case for a popular recipe that exploded across platforms like TikTok and Instagram. Users were eager to try their hand at making the ultimate chocolate lava cake, which promised a gooey center and a rich flavor that would leave anyone craving more. But as with many viral sensations, the recipe came with a twist. It was shared without proper testing, and what seemed like an easy dessert turned into a nightmare for many who attempted it. Let's pause for a moment. Can you picture the excitement of baking something that looks so delicious? Now imagine the horror of opening the oven expecting a perfectly risen cake, only to find a soupy mess instead. This was the experience of countless home bakers who followed the recipe to the letter. Reports flooded in of cakes collapsing, ovens smoking, and in some extreme cases, even kitchen fires. The internet was buzzing, and the recipe became infamous for all the wrong reasons. But the drama didn't just stop there. One particular incident escalated quickly. A woman named Sarah, an avid baker, decided to give the viral recipe a shot. The post promised a foolproof method, and Sarah, excited to impress her friends at an upcoming dinner party, set to work in her kitchen. As she mixed ingredients, the sweet aroma filled the air. But when she pulled the cake from the oven, things took a turn for the worse. Instead of a luscious chocolate cake, she found a bubbling pot of chocolate soup that oozed all over her kitchen counter, causing a massive mess. In her frustration, Sarah decided to share the experience on social media. Her post, filled with dramatic photos of the disaster, quickly garnered attention. "I followed the recipe exactly. How could this happen?" she exclaimed, her disbelief palpable through her words. What followed next was nothing short of outrageous. Sarah, feeling the weight of her ruined dinner party and the financial loss from wasted ingredients, decided to take action. Armed with her phone filled with evidence, she reached out to the creator of the recipe, a popular food influencer known for their over-the-top creations. But here's where the plot thickens. The influencer, rather than accepting responsibility or even offering a simple apology, dismissed Sarah's claims. They argued that the recipe had been tested multiple times and that any failures were likely due to user error. This response ignited a firestorm of backlash, with Sarah's followers rallying behind her. Can you believe it? A simple recipe meant to bring joy to the kitchen had spiraled into a full-blown social media war. The outrage led Sarah to file a lawsuit against the influencer, claiming negligence and emotional distress. She argued that the recipe was not only misleading but also dangerous, as it had caused her kitchen to become a hazardous environment. As the news broke, the internet exploded with opinions. Some sided with Sarah, believing that influencers should be held accountable for the content they share. Others argued that home bakers should take responsibility for their own mistakes. In the ensuing weeks, the case attracted media attention, and the courtroom became a battleground for opinions on influencer accountability. During the trial, Sarah presented her evidence: screenshots of the recipe, photos of her kitchen disaster, and testimonials from others who experienced similar mishaps. Dramatic pauses filled the courtroom as Sarah recounted her experience. She described her emotional turmoil, the embarrassment of serving a ruined dessert to her friends, and the subsequent stress it caused in her life. The influencer's defense team, however, was quick to counter. They argued that recipes are inherently subjective, and the responsibility ultimately lies with the individual attempting to recreate them. After all, countless people had successfully made the cake without issue. But the crux of the matter was deeper than just a failed recipe. It raised questions about the ethics of food influencers and their responsibility to their audience. Should they be held accountable for the potential consequences of their shared content? As the trial unfolded, it became evident that this case was not just about Sarah's kitchen disaster. It was about the broader implications of viral content in the digital age. For many, the idea of suing a recipe creator seemed absurd, yet it highlighted a growing trend of accountability in the influencer world. Audiences were beginning to demand transparency and reliability, especially when it came to food and safety. Dramatic twists continued as various influencers weighed in on the case. Some expressed solidarity with Sarah, admitting they too had faced backlash for recipes gone wrong. Others took a more defensive stance, arguing that the nature of cooking is experimental and that mishaps are part of learning. The courtroom drama drew in a variety of voices. Social media users rallied to support Sarah, sharing their own stories of cooking disasters linked to viral recipes. "I made a cake that was supposed to be a work of art," one user wrote, "but it turned into a pancake. It's frustrating when you trust someone's expertise." As the trial reached its climax, the jury was tasked with deciding not just Sarah's fate, but the future of accountability in the world of food influencers. Could they set a precedent that would shape how recipes are shared and consumed in the digital landscape? In a surprising turn of events, the jury ultimately ruled in favor of Sarah, awarding her damages for emotional distress and financial loss. The influencer was ordered to issue a public apology and to take more responsibility in the future for the recipes shared on their platform. This verdict sent shockwaves through the influencer community. It was a clear message: with great influence comes great responsibility. As the dust settled, many began to reflect on the implications of this case. Can we truly hold someone accountable for a recipe? What does this mean for the future of food content on social media? The fallout from this lawsuit sparked discussions about the ethical responsibilities of influencers. Some began to advocate for clearer guidelines when sharing recipes, emphasizing the importance of testing and transparency. In the wake of the trial, a wave of new trends emerged. Influencers began to share not just their successes but also their failures, offering a more realistic view of cooking. They encouraged followers to embrace the messy, imperfect side of baking, reminding everyone that it's okay to fail and learn in the kitchen. And so, the story of Sarah and the viral recipe serves as a reminder of the power of social media and the impact of our digital interactions. It challenges us to think critically about the content we consume and share. What would you do in Sarah's situation? Would you hold the influencer accountable, or would you accept it as part of the learning process in the kitchen? As we wrap up this incredible story, we can see how one viral recipe not only caused a kitchen disaster, but also ignited a conversation about responsibility in the culinary world. So the next time you come across a viral recipe, remember the saga of Sarah. Take a moment to consider the source and perhaps even share your own cooking experiences, both the triumphs and the disasters. After all, in the world of cooking, we're all just a recipe away from a little chaos.